Every 7th of July, the world celebrates the International Day of Cooperatives. This year, the theme for the celebration is sustainable consumption and production, and with the slogan Sustainable Societies Through Cooperation. Now, how does that relate to us and our businesses? We'll get to know that in the course of the program. The theme and the slogan of this year's celebration reflect on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 11 and 12, that is, sustainable cities and communities, and Goal 12, responsible consumption and production. Today's edition of the program is dedicated to this special day as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate the Day of Cooperatives. This is Business Trends on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the program that keeps you up to date with all that you need to know for your businesses to thrive. And I'm Shikeola Ipenaye, your host. Don't forget the program is reaching you courtesy Small and Medium Enterprises Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN.
Brother, what's happening? You're not looking so good.
Life after school has been very difficult. Honestly, see, I can't even take care of myself. Look, I can't even shave. I'm so confused right now. I set up a furniture business and it collapsed. I'm beginning to think someone is after me. It could be from the village.
I don't think anybody's after you. You see, business sometimes just need guidance and mentoring. See, have you heard of this agency called SMEDAN?
No, not at all.
See, SMEDAN is a government agency that specializes in giving business training to micro, small, medium level business owners.
Wow, John, hold on.
SMEDAN trains you, create market for you, to link you with suppliers of raw materials to manufacturers and producers to consumers. SMEDAN facilitates agricultural commodity exchange and even promote Nigerian-made goods abroad and here in Nigeria. SMEDAN connects young entrepreneurs like you to financial sources so they can have access to loan.
John, I want to be like you. Take me to SMEDAN right now. Let's go.
Wait,
Where's the way?
is this way?
Let's go.
SMEDAN is located at number 35, Port Harcourt Crescent off Gimbel Street, Area 11, Garki, Abuja. It also has offices in each capital of the 36 states of the Federation. Or visit www.smedan.gov.ng. This message is brought to you by the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN.
Now, if you're just joining us, you're right on time. I'm just about to open discussion on the International Day of Cooperatives, the day that creates opportunity for cooperatives to showcase how they run successful businesses in the country in the most sustainable way and their significant contributions towards attaining Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. But before then, let's quickly take you through trending issues in the business arena. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has again injected the sum of $210 million into the interbank foreign exchange market. Figures obtained from the bank indicate that the CBN offered $100 million to authorized dealers in the wholesale segment of the market, while the small and medium enterprises segment received the sum of $55 million. Customers requiring forex for invisibles such as tuition fees, medical payments, and basic travel allowance, BTA, among others, were also allocated the sum of $55 million. Meanwhile, the Naira continued its stability in the forex market, exchanging at an average of 360 Naira to the dollar in the BDC segment of the market as at Tuesday. The World Bank says it has approved a total of $2.1 billion in concessionary loans to fund projects in Nigeria aimed at improving access to electricity and promoting governance. The projects approved by the International Development Association, IDA, the bank's low-interest arm, are expected to support Nigeria's economic growth plan. The World Bank said more than half of the loans would be used to fund power and climate change projects and boost fiscal transparency. It also approved a $7 million grant for nutrition. The National Insurance Commission (NICOM) says about 41.6 million Nigerians are excluded from financial services, including insurance services, and that 40.1 million Nigerians who live in the rural areas are excluded from any form of financial services. Commissioner for Insurance and Chief Executive Officer of NICOM, Mohammed Kari, disclosed this at the Chief Executive Officer's retreat of the Nigerian Corporation of Insurance Brokers. The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) says about 36 million redundant lines of subscribers have been withdrawn in the past few months so as to give room for effective management of telecom facilities. Executive Vice Chairman of NCC, Professor Umar Garba Danbata, said the lines had to be withdrawn to ensure that all resources at its disposal are put into good use and for the benefit of the country. From the Smedan corner, the Director General of Smedan, Dr. Diko Umaru Rada, says the agency has started a national school entrepreneurship program to prepare young Nigerians in primary and secondary schools towards being entrepreneurs rather than rely on white-collar jobs after school. Speaking at a press briefing in Abuja, Dr. Rada said the agency is collaborating with SAGE to scale up the program and reach out to the 36 states of the country.
We started the program this year, and the program, we started running it in 12 states across the country who have shown interest to participate in the program. We have developed a curriculum that we pass on to these schools, and it was based on that curriculum that will guide those teachers that we train to impact that knowledge to students. What will interest you more is that our students who have been representing Nigeria in all this SAGE World Global World Cup, they have done wonderfully well in most of the events.
We're going to have 12 states compete for who will be the one to represent Nigeria at the SAGE Global competition in Durban in August. At that place, we're going to have 30 countries participating, the G8 countries, and in Africa, we have countries like Ghana, Liberia, Kenya, etc. The young people have shown that Nigerians are the most enterprising and energetic people in the world.
So the bottom line is for us to prepare these kids to start thinking entrepreneurship. And as the said guy have generally said, it is a revolution. And what type of revolution is this? It's entrepreneurialism. That is entrepreneurship revolution.
Those are trending issues now. Business Trends continues. We're celebrating the International Day of Cooperatives, and with me in the studio to discuss issues surrounding cooperatives. And this day is Mr. Emmanuel Atama. He's the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of National Cooperatives Financing Agency of Nigeria, CFAN. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yeah, let's start with this. What does International Day of Cooperatives hope to achieve?
Well, the International Day of Cooperative hope to bring cooperative members and cooperatives together on a particular day set aside by the United Nations in conjunction with the International Cooperative Alliance, working with the International Labour Organization, to bring the cooperatives together so that they could look at past efforts and also chart a course for the new year. For us, we are beginning a new year as from every first Saturday of July. As for last year, we have a team handed over to us by the United Nations, which was on financial inclusion, that cooperatives should ensure that no one is left behind. For the new year we are about entering, we are given a new team, on sustainable consumption and production of goods and services.
Okay. Now, cooperative provide financing for businesses and for personal needs.
Yes.
Can you just tell us the prospects of cooperatives in Nigeria?
Cooperative
How do they operate?
Cooperative has a very rich prospect in Nigeria, considering the interest it has generated, not just among the poor people, but even among the wealthy people, because it has become one veritable means through which we can make life affordable for people. And how it operates is that for you to be a member of a cooperative society, you must subscribe through application, pay a certain fee, and then you are admitted as a member. And the cooperative is an enterprise. It's a corporate entity. So you have to buy into the shares of the cooperative so that you could become a financial member. And once you become a financial member, you become one of the owners of the cooperative. So cooperative is owned by the people, it's managed by the people, and the customer are the people that own it. And for us, we look at it from two perspectives. The cooperative as an enterprise, a corporate body, it can do business as an entity, and we're also looking at it as a microfinance institution. So it could take savings from the members and as well give them loans, and can also link them to other intervention programs like from the CBN, Bank of Industry, Federal Mortgage Bank, and other development banks and institutions, and even development partners across the world. So the cooperative operates as being owned by the member, managed by the members, and also patronized by the members. And they can also be of services for those who are not their members if they own businesses that will provide services to the general public.
Okay, so what are the different types of cooperatives that we have in Nigeria, and how is cooperative domesticated in Nigeria?
Nigeria is the vice president in charge of Africa at the International Cooperative Alliance.
Who is the president? Which country is the president?
Nigeria. And the president is the current president of the Cooperative Federation of Nigeria, of which we are all affiliates. And as such, whatever we do in Nigeria form within global best practice. So we don't run it differently from how it is run elsewhere. We domesticate it based on what is obtainable at the international level. And that is the reason why we are also celebrating the International Cooperative Day. And how it is run is that it cuts across every sector of our life. We have cooperatives in agriculture, we have in housing, we have in commerce, we have even in energy supply, we have cooperatives. So it cuts across every aspect of our life. And the reason is that we need to live well. And for that reason, when you have a cooperative, it makes those things affordable and accessible. So it cuts across every facet of our life.
And do you think Nigerians are taking full advantage of cooperatives?
Yes, Nigerians are taking full advantage of cooperative. And that is the more reason why, even within established organization, it becomes a norm that you should have a cooperative. You can have a cooperative for social ministry staff, and you can also have cooperative for community-based organizations, self-help organizations. So Nigerians are taking full advantage of it, and we believe that cooperative is impacting positively on the lives of the ordinary Nigerian man.
Okay, let's talk about cooperative as an enterprise. Like, I want to start up a cooperative entity for business. What about that?
An individual cannot own a cooperative.
Okay.
When you say cooperative, based on best practice and the law, you have a minimum of 10 members. And as an individual, the cooperative supports you by ensuring that you have access to finance, access to healthcare, access to pension, access to housing, And even now, we are providing access to food and renewable energy.
How is that?
Yes, how you do it is that as a group, even lending institutions who provide all these things prefer the cooperative model of cross guarantee, because once loan is disbursed to the cooperatives, all the persons within the cooperative taking the loan take collective responsibility of repayment. And what it means is that if today loan is disbursed to a cooperative for on lending to their member, there is cross guarantee. Even if 9 of them out of 10 have paid and 1 has not paid, it is assumed that all of them have not finished paying. And for that reason, people rely on the cooperative model to ensure that people have access to good things of life.
Okay, now who regulates the activities of cooperative?
Cooperative is on the concurrent list of
Excuse me,
legislation.
please. In Nigeria and globally.
Yes, that's why I'm telling you that in Nigeria, cooperative is on the concurrent list of legislation. The federal government, through the office of the Federal Director of Cooperatives, that is Federal Department of Cooperatives, that is currently situated in Federal Ministry of Agric and Rural Development, regulates national cooperatives, while the state also regulates state cooperatives. Every state registered their own cooperative. But when the cooperative have grown so big that she has members cut across Nigeria, then the cooperative will now obtain a national registration through the Federal Department of Cooperatives.
How will you substantiate the contribution of cooperatives to businesses and individual well-being?
Like I told you, if you go to Federal Secretariat today, among 10 cars that are parked, you will discover that 7 of them are bought through cooperative. Earlier before now, if you have 2 of your kids going to higher institution, you may ask one to stay behind because of lack of resources. But through cooperatives today, you discover that people save money, and in times of need like that, the cooperative allow them to have access to finance so that they can meet things of life. So it is with every other aspect of life. And that is the reason why today people are embracing the cooperative way of living.
Okay, now you've just spoken about contribution of cooperative to our well-being as individuals. Now, what about financing small businesses or businesses generally?
If you go to Smedan today, you will discover that chunk of their clientele is from the cooperative. The reason is because the SMEs, they are the owner of the cooperative. They come together as cooperative so that they can pool their resources together, so that in times of need, they will go to the cooperative and get what they want, because they always get it easier there. And I tell you, the banks also, the Apex Bank, the Central Bank, the Bank of Industry, all of them prefer the cooperative, because through that, there is this peer pressure on the owners of these SMEs, because no one wants to be left behind. So they all struggle collectively, share resources through the cooperative model so that their business can succeed.
Okay, you said last year that the theme was centered on financial inclusion.
Yes.
Have you done any form of appraisal to see how far cooperatives have been able to, enhance financial inclusion in Nigeria?
Yes. By Saturday, we intend to bring it out. We have worked closely with the Central Bank of Nigeria. We have worked with the Bank of Industry. We have worked with the Federal Mortgage Bank and some other development bank to ensure that people are financially included. And we are also working with the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, the people that controls the BVN, because first point of inclusion is through the financial highway, and you must have the BVN so that you can be identified. So what we have done so far is in the area of access to finance through some of the intervention programs. We also have included people through pension. We are working with PENCOM to make sure that even the small trader, the vulcanizers, they also have pension account. We're working through the micro pension scheme, which any moment from now will come to play. We're also working with HMOs to make sure that our people have access to health care through the health insurance. We're also working with Federal Mortgage Bank, making sure that people have access to housing finance. So, in a nutshell, we have done a lot of work. And now that we have done a lot of work, bring people on board, it's not enough to say be financially included. We have to sustain that effort. Because when they are included, they need sustainability of that. And the International Cooperative Alliance and the United Nations says what we need to do is to sustain consumption and production. And that is the more reason why we make sure that whatever finances they have access to in doing their business, they continue to sustain that effort to keep them in business, so that now that they have social security through access to finance, healthcare, pension, housing, we'll be able to sustain it and to make sure that their business continue to thrive. And if you look at it, a lot of people say cooperative keep prices down, cooperative make things affordable, but the fact remains that if the cooperative as an enterprise or the member as an entrepreneur do not engage themselves in one form of business or the other, we have no reason and we have no way to say we are going to bring down prices of goods and services. And that was why yesterday we sat down and said, look, we need to structure this engagement to make sure that this thing makes meaning to people. So for us, we have already come up with how in the next 1 year we are going to teach our members and follow them on the path of sustainability of consumption and production activities.
And so with these efforts in a couple of years, what do you expect to see?
We'll see that we'll be living in a society that people will be happy. Because if people are gainfully engaged, crime will be reduced to the barest minimum. And we also look at it that cooperative does not encourage this flamboyant way of living. Most of them are occasioned in corruption and all form of malpractice. Cooperative teach you how to live to get the basic things of life. Then if you want to live a luxurious life, you now work harder. So cooperative provide avenue for everybody to meet basic needs. So we are believing that by the time we promote this, we will now find people living happily and crime will be reduced.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming on our program.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, we've been speaking with Mr. Emmanuel Atama, the Executive Secretary and CEO of National Cooperative Financing Agency of Nigeria, CFAN. He has taken us through discussion on this year's International Day of Cooperatives with the theme Sustainable Consumption and Production of Goods and Services. The program is still Business Trends, and I'll be right back.
Brother, what's happening? You're not looking so good.
Life after school has been very difficult. Honestly, see, I can't even take care of myself. Look, I can't even shave. I'm so confused right now. I set up a furniture business and it collapsed. I'm beginning to think someone is after me. It could be from the village.
I don't think anybody's after you. You see, business sometimes just need guidance and mentoring. See, have you heard of this agency called Smedan?
No, not at all.
See, Smedan is a government agency that specializes in giving business training to micro, small, medium level business owners.
Wow, John, hold on.
Smedan trains you, create market for you, to link you with suppliers of raw materials to manufacturers and producers to consumers. Smedan facilitates agricultural commodity exchange and even promote Nigerian-made goods abroad and here in Nigeria. Smedan connects young entrepreneurs like you to financial sources so they can have access to loan.
John, I want to be like you. Take me to Smedan right now. Let's go.
Wait.
Where's the way?
Is this way?
Let's go.
Smedan is located at number 35, Port Harcourt Crescent off Gimbia Street, Area 11, Garki, Abuja. It also has offices in each capital of the 36 states of the Federation, or visit www.smedan.gov.ng. This message is brought to you by the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, Smedan.
That's it today on the program. Don't forget, you just have to start something and keep moving with your ideas. With perseverance, you surely get there. Hope to have you watch us again same time next week on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. You can also join us on our social media platforms. I am Shikeola Ipenaye. Bye for now.